Welcome back to the Modern Warfare 2 Online Pro Circuit. Guys, we've got our #2 seed, Art of Execution, squaring off against our 6-seeded Xtravagant tonight. Game 1, we saw Xtravagant take the map 2-1, but it was a really close capture the flag game there as Xtravagant within the last minute and a half was able to pull that second cap for Xtravagant to take game number 1. We're moving into game number 2, High Rise Search and Destroy. Hasher, why don't you break down the map on High Rise and Search and Destroy and what we can anticipate from both teams?
Sure, Fwiz. So High Rise Search and Destroy is a standoff game type. The map is one of the smaller maps that you're going to see on the pro circuit. Both teams are going to have to get out of their spawns extremely fast to gain map control and positioning. So it's going to be kind of a mad rush at the beginning. Some teams choose to take it kind of slow. You might want to hold off on sending your Slayer out there too quickly. You're probably going to see objective players taking that initiative and getting out of the spawn quickly.
Like we've said on this broadcast before, guys, capture the flag and demolition's a little more like checkers, and on the flip side, search and destroy, a little more methodical, is like chess. So you're going to see a different style of gameplay coming in here game number 2, and you got to watch out for AOX. They are such a dominant search and destroy team. So let's kick it off with High Rise Search and Destroy. And Hastro, who do you want to watch? You want to follow a little bit of Xtravagant?
Yeah, sure. Let's check out Big Timer here. Big Timer's been playing extremely well recently. I've had the chance to check him out in a couple scrimmages and play a little bit with him, and he's on fire.
All right, well, let's start our player camera off with Xtravagant. They're going to be our bottom team, and we're going to watch Big Timer. He did come off to a little bit of a slow start there in the beginning of game number 1. It was not his usual play, but if you look at the body of work that Big Timer has done in the online pro circuit playoffs, he's been absolutely a force to be reckoned with as a Slayer. So let's see if he's able to step it up and come into his element here on game number 2. Again, like Hastro said, you're going to see a little bit of a slow play as Proster takes out JCap, A takes out Xtravagant, and all of a sudden, Rambo gets taken out too. So we're looking at a 4v1 situation. Big Timer is all alone right now, and it is looking very grim for Xtravagant with game number 1. Oh, there it is. He was able to take out Sinster, but Clayster falls through with a nice shot. Let's watch our round-winning kill. Nice shooting, yeah. He tried to get in that prone position, but Clayster came up and just took care of business. So Xtravagant got taken out early by AOX, and now we see AOX with a 1-0 lead here on game number 2, Search and Destroy.
Yeah, and right now, AOX is playing their game. You know, they're one of the toughest teams to play Search and Destroy against. This is their forte, and right now they're doing a great job. They came out very aggressive on that first side on offense, and it paid off for them.
When AOX and Xtravagant just got to play in the championship on the Xbox side, we saw AOX, they took all of their search and destroy games. So that is really going to be AOX's strategy tonight. They're going to have to take game number 2 and game number 5, our search and destroy games. Those are going to be imperative to their success in match number 1 here. They got to take those from Xtravagant, and they're going to have to pull. Most likely, we'll see AOX grab a demolition round, which will be game number 3 from Xtravagant. That's kind of their strategy. That's going to be their plans of the maps they're going to have to take here.
Yeah, and right now, you know, they're going to focus up on this search. That is their strongest game type. That demolition is something that they really want to grab from Xtravagant. There's no doubt about that. You're absolutely right, Wiz. As we see JCap and Xtravagant here left for Xtravagant, and right now we have AOX left for AOX. It's a 1v2 situation, but Xtravagant, remember, does have to grab that bomb. Nobody has it for their team right now, and they're going to have to get a bomb plant down.
Absolutely. We're looking at a 2v1 situation. Although Xtravagant's on offense, they're taking it slow, trying to see if they can catch AOX messing up at any point in time here. They do have a minute and 2 seconds as we see AOX takes out Xtravagant. So now it's a 1v1, JCap versus AOX. Remember, Xtravagant's on offense, and JCap takes out AOX with a nice Suman shot in bottom red there. Let's watch the round-winning kill here. Kind of just set up, had the L trigger ready, and AOX came around the corner and met his doom by JCap. So Xtravagant gets on the board to tie it up 1-1 here on game number 2, Search and Destroy on High Rise.
Yeah, that was a very smart heads-up play by JCap. He saw AOX after he cleaned up Xtravagant. He caught him out of the corner of his eye on his screen, and, you know, as AOX kind of made that move towards green, JCap figured he's going to come down towards the basement, picked him right off.
So we got right now on the player cam, let's switch it on to JCap. He's kind of just hanging out low, playing a little bit slower. He had the quick pace game one. It didn't work out for him as he got taken out early here. Looks like he's catching a couple stuns that are being tossed from behind him, but he's going to continue to stay in this prone position in between A and B. If you switch over to Big Timer, you see he's off to the left side, trying to be a sneaky beaver, see if he can pop up and take somebody maybe that's coming through green. Sidrock's hanging out in the office. He's not moving quickly. He's going to make sure they don't get flanked from behind. That's going to be a huge part of his job. And we got Rambo taking out AOX right outside. They're playing a little sneaky, Hastro. They're playing side map there. You see Big Timer on the flip side was outside of the map almost, and you see Rambo's off the back of the elevators.
Yeah, and you know, they're coming out the same way they started that first round that they lost. And in fact, right now, Rambo gets a really nice shot through orange right there. And yeah, I knew you were watching that. So right now it's a 4v1 situation in favor of Xtravagant. They're sticking to their guns. That's what I like right now. They haven't changed their strategy.
Why would you? These guys have been, they have not, still to this time, have not dropped a game yet, so don't switch if it works. And they are now taking the lead 2-1 as Sidrock takes out Sinster. Watch the round when he killed him. He was posted up there all day, sees him coming through green, probably got a comm call, and just nice shooting, waits for him, anticipate the shot, and takes him out as we see Xtravagant, after being down 1-0, has now taken the lead on game number 2, 2-1. What are you seeing from Xtravagant that they're kind of stepping up their play right now?
Oh, they're just keeping the hope alive, man. They're trying to go throughout this whole entire playoff bracket without losing one map, and I think the way they're doing that is by following the strategy they've been playing with all along.
You really have to admire the fact that they have been able to do it. I know we've really talked about it and kind of hammered it in, but guys, it's such an impressive feat to do what they've been doing, and you got to give props where props are due. Sidrock takes out Sinster, Big Timer still on the side, and instead of Sidrock just kind of hanging out, playing a little bit slow, he's kind of picked it up a pace, and he is at elevator looking to see if anybody's in the office. Bomb is down, Rambo dropped it, AOX probably knows about it, and we're looking at a 3v1 situation as AOX gets taken out and Xtravagant pushes their lead to 3-1. They've been just playing on such a different level than every other team we've seen on this broadcast. I mean, they've really assembled a group of 4 players that are able to play the positions better than anybody else.
Yeah, and you know what, Fwiz, there's so many Call of Duty events that MLG and Game Battles puts on for Call of Duty. I mean, there are more events for this game on the console than any other game out there. And, you know, Xtravagant brings a lot of experience to the table playing in these events, but it seems like these big events, the big finals, the championships, they come up big, and they just are relentless, man. I can't even explain it. They just come out and they take on the absolute best pro teams, and they just mop the floor with them sometimes, and that's what we're kind of seeing right here.
Absolutely, they're very familiar with the competitive territory, and they're able to play in these environments at a high caliber level. Sidrock taking some shots from behind. I don't think he was able to get him out. He did get a Semtex on AOX. He's still exchanging shots in the back office. Kind of a spraying spree. Gets a stun, gets another stun on him. He's thrown down the right, and Big Timer was able to finish the job as he takes out Croaster. Extravagant was down 1-0 after AOX came out the gates high, but they were able to turn around like they've done through the entire playoffs and take game number 2, Search and Destroy High Rise 4-1. Astro, go ahead and break down the scores, man.
Oh, wow. Well, in this game right here, Sidrock, yet again, coming up big for his team. He's that new acquisition for Xtravagant, and he's just doing an amazing job over here on the PS3 on the Pro Circuit, reminding you guys that they're playing on the PlayStation Network for free, and Sidrock is coming over and taking full advantage of that. I'm sure he's been getting his game time in online, coming in at 6-2 on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, on the other side, AOX Slayer led the team at 4-4. The rest of the team kind of coming in dismal, so...
Yeah, Croaster, he's their captain, man. He had a rough game there going 1-4. This is not characteristic numbers of AOX. I think Xtravagant was able to fluster them a little bit there in game number 2.
Yeah, and as we go into this commercial break, we're going to switch hosts real quick and bring you guys game 3 and the first set of maps here that we have in the finals.